Okay, we're untangling the messy world of background screening data. Last time we saw how fragmented this data environment is. No CSI magic database, just 3,100 plus counties doing their own thing. Today we're zooming in on a big hurdle, challenges in subject identification. Get ready to bust some myths and become the expert who knows why screening isn't as simple as punching in a social security number. Now let's start with a truth that blows minds. There are no social security numbers in criminal records. Yep, you heard me. You can't just plug in a SSN and pull up someone's rap sheet. Same goes for driver's license numbers. They're almost never there. And to top it off, some states are even redacting birth dates, making it harder to pin down who's who. If you're thinking, Ken, that's nuts. I give my vendor the SSN for every check. You're not alone. Most folks assume SSNs are the golden key to screening, but that's a dangerous myth, and it's setting up HR pros really for big mistakes. So why don't criminal records include social security numbers or driver's license? It's actually pretty smart. When you think about it, criminal records are public data, and anyone can access them, from you and me to an identity thief. If courts stored SSNs, a fraudster could punch in random numbers and pull up names, addresses, maybe even birthdays. Now that would be a goldmine for identity theft. So it makes sense that they do it that way. Back in the day, people used to write their driver's license numbers on checks that they wrote. Remember that? You'd hand over your ID to buy groceries and it was printed right there for the world to see. But today, privacy laws lock that down tight. Driver's licenses are protected. And in 99% of cases, they're not in criminal records, let alone searchable. Birth dates, some states like California and New York are actually redacting them to protect privacy, which makes matching records to the right person even trickier. So picture this. Your HR team's screening a new hire named John Smith. They use John Smith's social security number thinking it'll pull up his record. But that arrest, it's sitting in a county database under John, Jon, not John. No social security number, no driver's license, maybe a partial birthday. The screen comes back clean because the HR pro didn't catch it. It wasn't their legal name. John gets hired. Turns out he's got a theft conviction. 6 months later, John's caught stealing from the company. Well, this literally happens all the time, especially when you cross an unknowing HR pro with a screening company that just isn't that great. So here's why this happens. Criminal records rely on names, birth dates, and addresses. That's it. No social security numbers, no driver's license, and sometimes spotty birth dates. If your applicant goes by Mike, but their record's under Michael, or they used a maiden name or the county redacted the birth date, you're playing a high-stakes game here that can miss a record. Add in the fact that 30% of people have used alias names. That's per a 2021 industry report, and you see the problem. It's really complex. It's a minefield. And when HR pros assume social security numbers are magic, they get complacent. Some think that because they saw some information from the address history trace that it must have been used in that background search. And that's just not the case, not unless it was specifically designed to do so. They set up sloppy processes. They don't even know how they're sloppy, lean on cheap vendors and think, we've got this. And the spoiler is, they don't. Now, this is where you step up. Understanding these challenges, no social security numbers, no driver's license, redacted birth dates, well, it makes you dangerous in a really good way. You'll see why data management in your screening process is everything. Now, later we'll dive into how social security numbers are used, like for address history traces. But for now, know this. Quality screens are built to navigate all of this chaos. They dig deeper, cross-check aliases, and hit the right counties. Again, I've been at it for 15 years. And I'm telling you, mastering subject identification is how you catch the bad hires before they cost you. Your job as a screening hero is to bust these myths. Don't let anyone tell you SSNs are the answer. They're not. Build processes that account for aliases, verify identities, and handle missing birth dates. This course will show you how, step by step, so you can design screens and screening programs that don't just work, they dominate. You're not just screening, you're protecting your company like a pro. Now that's module 2, your crash course, and why identifying subject is so tough. Next, we're hitting the ground running with the data itself. Stick with me. You're building expertise, and that saves the day.